Imagine waking up one morning, going to work, and never coming home. Not for a day, not for a week, for 444 days. Blindfolded, chained, alone, while the most powerful nation on earth could do nothing. This is the story of 52 Americans held hostage in the heart of Tehran. A botched military rescue that ended in fire and ash, a president destroyed, and a crisis that changed America forever. To understand why this happened, we need to go back, way back. It's 1979. Iran is on fire, not from bombs, but from revolution. For decades, Iran had been ruled by Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, a monarch backed heavily by the United States. To Americans, he was an ally. To millions of Iranians, he was a tyrant. His secret police, the Savak, tortured and disappeared thousands of Iranians who dared to speak out. And the US? They looked the other way. Because oil, because Cold War politics, because power. Then came Ayatollah Khomeini, a radical Islamic cleric who had spent years in exile, preaching revolution. And in 1979, the people of Iran listened. The Shah fled. Khomeini returned. And America suddenly found itself on the wrong side of history, in the eyes of an entire nation. November 4th, 1979. Tehran, Iran. A group of Iranian students, calling themselves Students Following the Imam's Line, stormed the United States Embassy. This wasn't a spontaneous riot. This was organized, calculated, deliberate. Within hours, 66 American diplomats and citizens were taken captive inside their own embassy, blindfolded, paraded in front of cameras, shown to the entire world as symbols of American defeat. Their demand, simple but impossible: send the Shah back to Iran to face trial. President Jimmy Carter refused. And just like that, America was paralyzed. Now let's talk about what these 52 Americans actually went through. Because behind the politics and the headlines, these were real people, diplomats, staff, members, Marines, some as young as their early 20s. They were kept in dark rooms, interrogated, humiliated. Some were subjected to mock executions, made to kneel while their captors pulled triggers on empty guns, just to break their spirit. They had no idea if they'd ever go home. Days turned to weeks, weeks turned to months, and the world watched, helpless, as America's most powerful symbol, its embassy, remained in enemy hands. Back home, yellow ribbons started appearing on trees, on doors, on car antennas, a nation holding its breath, waiting, hoping. For President Jimmy Carter, this was a catastrophe. Every morning he woke up and the hostages were still there. Every evening, the news led with the same story. ABC News even launched a nightly broadcast called America Held Hostage, which later became Nightline, just to count the days. Day 30, Day 60, Day 100. Carter tried diplomacy. He tried sanctions. He froze billions in Iranian assets. He cut off oil imports. He even expelled Iranian diplomats. Nothing worked. The pressure was suffocating. An election was coming, and Carter was running out of options. Then came the plan that was supposed to save everything, and instead made everything worse. Operation Eagle Claw, April 1980, a secret military mission deep into the Iranian desert. 8 helicopters, Delta Force operators, one shot at bringing the hostages home. The plan? Land in the desert, move into Tehran under cover of darkness, storm the embassy, extract the hostages, disappear before anyone knew what happened. It sounded like a movie. It ended like a nightmare. 2 of the 8 helicopters malfunctioned in a massive desert sandstorm before even reaching the staging area. The mission commander made the call, abort, but as the aircraft repositioned to leave, disaster struck. One of the helicopters collided with a C-130 transport plane on the ground. A fireball erupted in the desert. 8 American servicemen were killed. 3 helicopters were abandoned, left burning in the Iranian sand. And what did the Americans leave behind? Guns, bullets, radio equipment, camouflage gear, and the smoldering wreckage that the whole world would see on the morning news. The most powerful military on earth, defeated by the desert. The fallout was immediate and devastating. The militants, now on high alert, made their move. They scattered the 52 hostages to secret locations all across Iran, making any future rescue operation virtually impossible. No single target, no concentrated group, no second chance. Carter's military option was effectively dead. Back home, the mood was one of utter despair. Secretary of State Cyrus Vance, who had opposed the mission from the start, resigned in protest. It was a rare and damning act. And Carter? He was a broken man politically. The hostage crisis had consumed his presidency. And with the 1980 election approaching, a new challenger was rising: Ronald Reagan. With military options off the table, Carter pivoted entirely to diplomacy and economic pressure. The strategy? Squeeze Iran financially. Use the billions in frozen Iranian assets as a bargaining weapon. And this is where it gets fascinating. A secret account was opened at the Bank of England in the name of the government of Algeria, who served as the key mediator between the US and Iran. Iranian assets from nearly 20 banks around the world were assembled into this single account. Normally, a transaction this massive would take months to process. But in one of the most extraordinary moments in banking history, American and European banks waived every normal restriction. The entire transfer was completed in just a matter of hours. One official said he had never seen so many dollars worth of assets toted up in his entire career. Algeria handled the negotiations. The Bank of England provided the framework, and slowly, after 444 agonizing days, a deal was reached. The hostages would be released. Iran would get its frozen assets back, and America would agree never to interfere in Iranian affairs again. But even at the very end, Iran had one last humiliation to deliver. The hostages were released on January 20th, 1981, the exact moment Ronald Reagan was sworn in as president, not 1 minute before, not 1 minute after, 4 days. And Iran timed their release to deny Jimmy Carter even a single moment of triumph, whether this was pure political theater or something more sinister. A secret deal between Reagan's team and Iran remains one of the most debated conspiracy theories in American political history. We may never know the truth. The Iran hostage crisis changed America in ways we still feel today. It shattered the myth of American invincibility. It ended Carter's presidency. It deepened a wound between the US and Iran that has never fully healed. The 52 hostages came home to yellow ribbons and parades, but many carried invisible scars for the rest of their lives. And the desert wreckage of Operation Eagle Claw, those burned helicopters, those abandoned guns, those tracks in the sand, stood as a permanent symbol of the limits of power. Sometimes the most powerful nation in the world is completely powerless. Padres, 52 Americans. One crisis that changed history forever. If this hit different, share this video. Drop your questions below and follow for more stories that textbooks don't tell you the way they should.